I want to talk to you about two big themes that I have in my teaching, two things I find very important, but I often do not hear other teachers focusing in on as much. And so first I want to talk about mindset when it comes to playing your instrument. And if you've seen my story, I have struggled with performance anxiety in my playing and also sort of a not so helpful mindset in the practice room. And I have attributed working on these things to helping me become a better player. So oftentimes I hear other teachers out there making content all about how to do things to be a better player, how to do this technique or that technique. And while that stuff is important, I'm not going to tell you it's not important, because of course we need to learn how to do things on our instruments. However, sometimes I think that we overlook some of the other skills we need as a musician. And so today I want to talk to you a little bit about the mindset a musician needs, specifically for violin here, the mindset we need as violinists to become the best players we can, and also to enjoy ourselves along the way, and stay inspired, because that's what's going to keep you learning and growing on your instrument. So if you were to ask me, Holly, who's going to be the better player? Is it this beginner or that beginner? Like, who's going to be, who's going to be the better violinist? My answer to you is always going to be the one that is still playing 10 years from now, right? So, the sad, unfortunate news is a lot of people start playing an instrument and then they give up at some point. They think, oh, well, I'm too busy to continue, or they're just not enjoying themselves anymore. But most people that come to me and they say, I want to learn to play the violin, I always ask them why. Why do you want to learn to play the violin? And 9 times out of 10, at least, the answer I get is that, well, I heard somebody playing the violin and it was so beautiful and so expressive and so lovely, and I just want to be able to do that, something like that, So people come to me because they've heard this beautiful instrument that we play, the violin. It's so expressive. We have so many ways to make different sounds and express ourselves on this instrument in many different musical styles. And I think that it's really important that if you're going to learn the violin, you need to keep that front and center in your mind and work on your mindset so that you don't get stuck or discouraged along the way. And in fact, while I'm saying, oh, it's not all about technique. Of course, technique is part of learning to play an instrument. But if you're, nobody comes to me and says, well, I want to be, a technical wizard on my instrument. Maybe they do, but that's not usually people's deeper motivation for learning how to play an instrument. Their deeper motivation is to learn how to express themselves and to play with beauty and enjoy it. So I find that if people get stuck somewhere, that's when they're in the danger of giving up their playing. So we need to make sure, I think as teachers, to make sure people can get unstuck and to always find the enjoyment, the self-expression in their playing. And it actually helps make you a better violinist. When you have that motivation and encouragement behind you, well, those students that I've seen that are inspired and motivated, those are the ones who are progressing more quickly on their instrument. Because, for instance, I had one student who really wanted to learn vibrato, and I said, okay, well, I've got some other things I want you to work on first. But they were insistent. They were so inspired by this technique that they went out and without me, they said, oh, well, I'm going to learn vibrato, even if Miss Holly's not going to teach me. So that's when I learned I had to teach the student vibrato, because they were determined. But they were inspired by listening to music. They kept the end goal of what they wanted to sound like in their mind, which I think is a really important mindset tool. Now, now I'm a more experienced teacher, I understand how important that is and how motivating it is for students. So when they came back to me and said, well, I decided to try and learn vibrato by myself, and they showed me, and it was not great. I said, okay, well, if you really want to learn vibrato, we're going to learn it the right way. And because they were so motivated and encouraged, when they were given the tools to help them do it, they excelled. I mean, this student had kind of naturally the mindset to work on these things. But for a lot of people, the mindset to overcome obstacles on our instrument and to get to the next step, it doesn't necessarily come naturally to most of us. And so I have created a program now where I focus on that with my students. This is something that we talk about with everyone. We talk about how to master our mindset, to overcome obstacles on our instrument, to keep ourselves inspired and engaged in our playing so that we continue to enjoy playing for a long time, and to learn how to express ourselves on our instrument. So another part of learning to play your instrument and to express yourself when doing so, I think, is to work on musicianship skills. So musicianship skills kind of encompasses a lot of things, but at the base we could say learning music theory, the underlying structures of the music that you're playing, and also training our ear. That's going to help you play more in tune as violinists and to understand the rhythms that you're playing. But those musicianship skills also help you become a fluent musician in that you can, whatever style on the violin it is you're learning, whether it's classical, jazz, blues, fiddle, whatever the style is that you're learning, that we work on having you really understand that style, and so that you can become part of the discussion, right? Because there's already ongoing discussions in each of these styles. And so if you saw my live video in the Violin Universe group last week, we talked about listening to music to become kind of fluent in the style, so that when you go and you make music in that style, you're joining a conversation that's already ongoing, right? You're already aware of the gestures that people are using in their phrasing. You're already understanding blues scales, for instance, if you're playing blues music. You're already understanding common chord progressions and how they're used, or whatever it is. But so working on those musicianship skills is also really key, I think, as a teacher. And so I used to teach one-on-one in-person lessons only, and that, I think, has been seen by people as the gold standard of music teaching, is you need to work one-on-one with your teacher and see them in person, right? And I think now, though, in 2024, we have a wonderful range of technology that's really turning things upside down on its head, because I created this program this summer where my students, they get all the feedback they need from me. It's not limited to just once a week like our private lessons were before. So they can send me videos at any time, and as many as they want, for unlimited feedback from me. So they have a lot of flexibility now in that. But also I've created this program where these trainings in mindset and musicianship feature heavily. So I used to never have time to teach my private lesson students any of this stuff. I felt like we were just like everyone else. I was just teaching how to do on the instrument and not how to be, right? So of course the how to do, like where to put your finger, move it like, move it like this, whatever we were doing, right? It was all very much like, this is how you do stuff. But now with this program, I have so many more ways, so many more touch points with my students that we can work on is how to be as a musician, how to adopt a helpful mindset in your playing, how to work on those musicianship skills without sacrificing time on your instrument. And so this program that I created, I've really seen some of my students who went from this old one-on-one in-person lessons model to this new kind of all-encompassing program, now they're really excelling and learning at a faster pace and enjoying themselves so much more, which is going to just inspire them and keep them going and keep them learning quickly. So it's been really great to see that. My program is called the Violinist's Map to Expression, and if you think you might be interested in learning more about this program, you can book a call with me to talk to me about it. And the special announcement today is that as a Black Friday deal slash New Year deal, if you decide after talking with me that this is the program for you, and of course we will discuss that. I like to make sure it is a good fit for you if you're going to come join the program. If not, I'll give you some other resource or help you in some other way. But the announcement is that if you decide to join the Violinist Map to Expression program between now and the end of the year, you will receive a $300 discount on 6 months in the program. And so in this program, not only do you have unlimited asynchronous feedback from me on your playing, access to mindset trainings, you can always ask me questions in the program. You also have a community of other violinists where you get to go to a master class with another small group. You're in a small group of other violinists 3 times a month where you learn from them and they learn from you. And you also get all the one-on-one feedback that you need. So I'm really excited about this program. I've already started to see how it is helping my students and how we're able to really work on some of these really fundamental parts of being a musician, like working on adopting a musician's mindset and deepening your musicianship skills. We're really able to work on that and still work on your pieces and what you're doing on your violin. And it's helping people progress so much faster on their instrument, and they have the support of a community too. So if you think you are interested in this, you can either leave a comment. I think the link to book a call is here below, so you can book a call directly with me and we can discuss what your violin goals are specifically and what your challenges are, and formulate a plan for you based on that. And of course there's no obligation, to join the program, but I thought you should know that there is a discount now between now and the end of the year. So if you are looking for the opportunity to work on something that you enjoy and something that you love and work on your own creative self-expression in the new year, now is the time. I have a little incentive for you to do that, and remember that you are worth it. You should spend time doing things you love and pursuing your creative endeavors. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this was insightful into how I teach violin, but also how I think it is really important for musicians to work on their mindset and their musicianship skills in order to become the best violinist you can become. Because yes, technique is important, don't get me wrong, but it's those other things that support the technique that you do. All right, everyone, take care. Have a lovely Thanksgiving if you're in the United States. Turkey Day is Thursday. I'll see you soon. Take care.